What's up, guys? Dynasty, and yes, today we're discussing the sequel to the Mortal Kombat live-action movie that just dropped 2 weeks ago. Gotta love how the internet works. And before you kill me and you take out your pitchforks and drop a cheeky little dislike, just keep in mind, everything we're gonna be unpacking today is not confirmed. It is simply rumors from websites that are claiming to have insider knowledge, and you guys know how that stuff works. So keep that in mind. Go into this with an open mind. Grain of salt, these are rumors. This is not 110% happening, okay? We good? We good. I love you. So with that said, turns out we got not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but 6 things of note to discuss today. And thankfully, despite all 6 of these things being featured on WeGotThisCovered.com, which again, you guys know how I feel about that website. Yeah, hit and miss, but usually a miss. Thankfully, 4 of the 6 things we're going to discuss today are actually being cited to other websites, including industry insider Daniel Richtman, who has created the whole NetherRealm Studios might be working on a Marvel game craze that's taken the entire community by storm. And I mean, hey, Ed Boon's also teasing that too, so at the very least, at least, some of these claims appear to be authentic and true, and coming from someone who knows what they're talking about. So yeah, wipe the sweat off your forehead. But with that said, let's break this stuff down. Let's have some fun. And well, I guess let's get into it. So first things first, let's start off with the claims that are coming from industry insider Daniel Richtman, according to WeGotThisCovered.com. Kicking things off, do you want a sequel to the live action movie? You probably do. It's all but confirmed at this point. It's been teased. It's been set up in the ending of the movie. And according to Daniel Richtman, from what he's heard from his sources, it is for sure happening. So yeah, nothing too groundbreaking there. I think we all saw this coming from a mile away, but at least the insider, Daniel Richtman here, is like, hey, it's happening. So boom, there you go. That doesn't seem too far-fetched. You know what else doesn't sound too crazy? This next claim also coming from Daniel Richtman. Now, according to him, not only are there plans for a sequel, which is a massive no-brainer, but Warner Brothers wants the franchise to run for as long as possible. Which again, doesn't come off as a crazy idea because Joe Tasmo, who plays Sub-Zero, has confirmed he signed on for at least another 4 movies. I think it was Louis Tan in that interview back in Thailand. He mentioned how they want to make a trilogy out of the MKU at least. So this is not too crazy. This is a claim that I can believe. So no brainer. WB has a license to print money in Mortal Kombat, and they want to make this go on for as long as they can. Not too surprising at all, especially when there's been talks about a Bihan prequel-based movie showing us how he becomes Sub-Zero. You have both actors, Ludi Lin and Max Wang, talking about how they'd love to do a Shaolin Monk spinoff, so I'm not too surprised by this. It's Mortal Kombat, so it is what it is. Now, the final claim that apparently is coming from Daniel Richtman is in regards to the casting of Johnny Cage. So much talk and speculation, discussion about who has the potential role for Johnny in the sequel, and according to this report here, the producers that worked on the first film, I'm assuming James Wan, Todd Gardner, have already approached the one, the only Ryan Reynolds about playing Johnny and showing up in the sequel. Now this comes just a week after Ryan Reynolds made this tweet, I guess subliminally kinda teasing this idea that he may or may not be Johnny in the sequel, to the point where even Ed Boon was like, hey, we should probably talk. So take that for what you will. I've been on my channel for about 1.5 to 2 years now saying that I'd love to see Ryan Reynolds as Johnny. I think it's a match made in heaven. Worth noting too, this report mentions how he pocketed $25 million for his role in 2 Netflix movies, so you think for Mortal Kombat and playing the role of Johnny, he'd probably want a lot more than that, and the movie's just now, I think, hit over $55 million or so after 2 weekends in theaters. So from the looks of things, it kind of seems like it's just up to Warner Brothers, and if they want to dish out that money for a big-name actor like Ryan Reynolds, which we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. But those are all the claims coming from Daniel Richtman, according to everyone's favorite website, WeGotThisCovered.com. Do they really? Now, this next claim, again, from everyone's favorite website, but it's being cited from GiantFreakinRobot.com, which I looked into, and again, kind of hit and miss, and this was kind of completely out of left field, but according to GiantFreakinRobot.com, WB is in the earliest stages of discussing a possible crossover between the worlds of Mortal Kombat and DC Comics. MK vs. DC, the game brought to the big screen. No one asked for it, don't think anyone wanted it, but according to this website, it might happen. Whew. Yeah, I'm gonna just leave it at that. Oh man, these websites. Okay, let's start talking about the exclusive stories from We Got This Covered and their inside sources. Now, the first story isn't too far-fetched at all. According to them, the evil sorcerer Shang Tsung is being primed as the big bad for Mortal Kombat 2, which is a no-brainer. I think we all kind of saw that coming, to the point where even the ending of the first movie got to see another stare down between Raiden and Shang Tsung. There's all that tension throughout the movie. I think that's all but confirmed to be the case, especially when there was like no teases of Shao Kahn even being alive or just walking around in the first film other than a statue. So, yeah. Not too surprising. I mean, come on. Spoiler! Big spoiler. He takes Kung Lao's soul. The seeds were planted. Liu Kang now has a reason to kill Shang Tsung. I mean, why wouldn't it be Shang Tsung? Again, there's all this tension, and our boy Shang Tsung does nothing but just boss all of his minions around, and this was like a prequel. This guy's in charge of the Mortal Kombat tournament. Like, again, this is like such an obvious claim that I could have made, but according to WGTC, Shang Tsung will be the big bad in the next movie, which I'm okay with. I wanted more Chin Han on my big screen. I needed it. I was so bummed, and that final stare down was legit just the stare down. Like, no choreography at all as Shang Tsung, no fight scenes, nothing. Just a guy who bossed people around. Come on. Saw this coming from a mile away. Now, the final claim that we're going to talk about today, again, is only coming from WeGotThisCovered.com and their insider sources. And if this is true, I need you to sit down. I need you to sit down. Get prepared for this, because this might break your heart if you are like me and you don't want to see any more original characters being just pulled out of thin air. Because according to their sources, the producers are reportedly pushing to introduce more completely original characters in the Mortal Kombat franchise. You thought Cole Young was just a one-time thing? Aha! Surprise! Why do we have all these other Mortal Kombat characters? We could just create our own, right? Right? Oh, pain. Nothing but pain. If this is the case, ooh, man, that sequel. Are we treading on Annihilation territory? I really hope we're not. So I'm hoping this claim is just simply BS, like a lot of the claims from this website, because if it's not, I know the diehards will not be happy. I'm not happy. I can live with Cole Young, but if you're gonna give me 10 Cole Youngs versus 3D era characters, etc., what are we doing here? Why are we doing this? It makes no sense. So I hope this is not true. Todd Gardner, if you're watching this, just let me know. That'd be great. But there you go. That is all the claims coming from within the last week in regards to the Mortal Kombat universe, MKU. Again, by no means are these 110% confirmed. They are simply just rumors. Take everything being quote-unquote reported with a grain of salt. Even if it is real, things are always subject to change, so keep that in mind too. You feel me? You feel me. So there you go. WB wants the franchise to run for as long as possible. The producers have apparently already approached Ryan Reynolds in regards to playing the role of Johnny Cage in the sequel. A second installment is quote-unquote for sure happening, which is not really a surprise. Apparently, WB is in the early stages of potentially giving us a crossover between Mortal Kombat and DC, which I don't know why. I don't know why. And according to We Got This Covered, Shang Tsung will be the big bad in the sequel, which is, again, not a shocker, no-brainer there. And the producers are reportedly pushing to introduce more completely original characters in the MK universe. Now, I'm so curious to hear the feedback in the comment section down below. I know you guys probably are like me and have a lot of opinions about everything we unpacked here today. Before I go, I also want to say this video is being brought to you by G2A.com. In case you have not heard the news, you can no longer buy MK9 for sale on PC on Steam anymore. However, using the link down below, you can buy a Steam key from G2A.com. From there, redeem that key in your Steam account, and just like that, you now got MK9 with all the DLC, even though it's no longer being sold officially through Steam anymore. So if you're interested in that, of course, that'll be linked down below. Till next time, though, I've been your host, Man Dynasty. Guys, please take care, stay safe, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great weekend. Peace.
I've been a fan of Dynasty for years now. GTA, MK, and Justice, I'm still down. Rapper meets gamer, I wonder how y'all feel now. That was just a setup, watch it get real now. Okay, so me and Sub-Zero was born in 92, and lyrically I inherited all his fighting moves. A lot of y'all still lost, don't have the slightest clue. The truth disappears in the smoke as if you fighting new.